Good morning. Last week, we looked at the call of God on Moses' life. We can easily think of Moses as an amazing leader who God used powerfully for his special purposes, which is all true. But looking back at how he was called, it's a bit sobering. It seems that God had to get Moses' attention first and show him some of his blind spots. This is never glamorous. Moses seemed to have a lot going for him, which equipped him to be a hero for his fellow Israelites who were living in slavery and they needed rescuing. In the first 40 years of his life, Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace, and he received plenty of education. He became known as a man of action. Moses could easily have seen himself as a hero. But God needed to show Moses who he, Yahweh, is and who Moses is in light of that. And then he wanted, based on all of that, to involve Moses in restoring his shalom to the Israelites. This required some painful restructuring of Moses' picture of God and of himself. And this happened in the second 40-year segment of Moses' life. Remember, we are not the hero. We need a hero. God is the hero. Moses came out of the second phase of his life humbled and seeing himself rather differently. And then God showed up. He showed Moses what he, Yahweh, is like. And God gave Moses a job, a shalom restoring job, participating with God. And that is what Moses did in the third 40-year segment of his life. Sometimes our picture of ourselves is painfully changed in the process of life, and we feel like we have lost our way. Like Moses, we don't know who we are anymore, and we become aware that we are not the source of what we need. But then God nudges us to lift our eyes to him. Perhaps you can relate to this. PJ told us his life story last week to show how he can relate to it. I also can relate to it, but I'm not going to tell you my story right now. And then there's the Apostle Peter, and I'm pretty much 100% sure that he could relate to this. This is what happened at Jesus' last Passover meal with his disciples in Matthew 26. Jesus, this very night you will all fall away on account of me. Peter, yeah, even if all these guys fall away because of you, I never will. Jesus, this very night you will disown me 3 times. Verse 51, Peter lops off the ear of the high priest's servant. He's a man of action, but he wasn't the hero. Verse 56, Jesus healed the servant's ear. Then all the disciples deserted Jesus and fled, including Peter. Sometimes we don't know what's in our own heart, and Jesus wants to show us and change us. He wants to reveal and remove the things in us that damage our relationships, that get in the way of what he wants to do through us in restoring shalom. Later, this is what happened. Jesus, Peter, do you love me? Peter, yes, Lord, you know I love you. Jesus asked him that 3 times, and then he said, feed my sheep. He gave Peter a job to do, participating with God in his shalom restoring project. Jesus' purpose in showing us our blind spots is never to destroy or devastate us. His purpose is to cleanse us and grow us and get our eyes onto him. Even when he's showing us things about ourselves that need to be changed, he's our hero. Psalm 25, guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, my hero, and my hope is in you all day long. And then this one, learn from me, Jesus said, for I am gentle and humble in heart. He's saying you can trust me even when I'm teaching you, and you will find rest for your soul. He wants to show us who he is, who we are in light of that, his great love for us, his power and his purposes, and he wants to prepare us to participate with him in restoring his shalom.